What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. Today is the day where we finally break the mold. I'm talking, of course, about the symmetry mold. We kind of already started to work on that in the previous episode by changing up these flumes and making sure that the towers for both of them were same, but different. I think we still need to sort of crank up that non-symmetrical dial up to 11. Maybe not that high, but we can definitely work on that a little bit more. So, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I feel like I should probably mention the game has crashed on me already just trying to get through that intro 3 times. So, hopefully that doesn't, throw a wrench into things today. Worst case, we'll have to do another sort of like supplementary stream. I guess it's not the end of the world. So, we need another mechanic, and I believe we still have a research thing over here. Maybe? Yeah, inside this little building. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna make it so that they are researching all the dang time. Except for 11, I guess. They do still need a break, but we'll probably end up needing more of those research points later on in today's episode, so just making sure that they did walk inside the facility, that's good. You know what we should probably do first, actually, is use our flatten to foundation tool and just sort of smooth this little area out a little bit more. What I want to do is start to bring a staircase over this direction, it's not to extend it over here and like bring it into a new area, but it will sort of like finish out the sides of this zone, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Also, something else that I'm going to try to do today is just include more footage, even if I'm not rambling in the clip, you know what I'm saying? So we've got our stairs set up already. We are just going to try to bring a nice little staircase down to that level. Let me make sure that I can do it over here as well before we just send the thing. Don't love when that happens. Hang on. We can just try it again. There it is. I don't know why that happens. Still no real clue there, but we're gonna delete those. That way we can add another right yonder. It's doing the thing again. And then now it doesn't even let me, okay, there it is. We'll see if it's gonna be nice to us and let us bring down another staircase in the middle. Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel like this is gonna be enough space. If you guys saw the thumbnail, I'm sure you probably know what I'm up to right about now. But I do think we're probably gonna have to flatten out the terrain just a little bit, just a little bit more around here, just until there. Probably, and then let's go through one more time and just kind of like roughen it up a little bit. Make it not so straight across. Something like that. And then last but not least, we're gonna come through with our smooth tool and just get it all smoothed out. We'll do the sides first, and then we'll make another pass and more or less just focus like on the top side. You know what I mean? And there we go. That seems good enough for now. The nice thing about terrain and really anything in Planet Coaster is you can always come back to stuff. Nothing is ever really set in stone. Unless you just really don't want to like keep tinkering with something you've been working on for like several episodes. There's a couple of things in the park that are that way for me. We don't need to talk about that though. So I'm hoping that just like a 2 wide path is going to be plenty wide down here. But today, ladies and gents, we're adding us some coasters. Now, I know there's going to be some people that might be a little upset with me because I'm not going to design my own custom coaster today. There's a few reasons for that. First of which, I'm not very good at building coasters or designing coasters. Secondly, since the game's been crashing on me so much already today, I just don't want to get like halfway through a coaster build and then have the game crash. You know, that would really suck. Then I'm going to have to come back and redo it all and yada, yada, yada. So, the first coaster that I want to put in today is this bad boy, Billy, right here. The Gulpy Giant one. And I think, you know what? We're probably going to have to place it sort of out in BFE first. And then we'll kind of move it on over there, because I don't really want to use the default path. You know, it's just not gonna work for our park, unfortunately. So we're gonna go through real quick, delete all of that, and then we can just slide it on into position, hopefully fairly easily. We'll see about that though. I'm gonna move this sign over here first so we can see if that's gonna line up very well with this path. Okay, this is kind of making it look like, well, never mind. I was gonna say, it's kind of making it look like we might need a 3-wide path, but this could work. If we put it like right at the edge of the path right here. Now, we're gonna have to move it back a little bit because the signs are sort of clipping through the staircase railing. Something like that, though. I could see that working out. And actually, I think it needs to go to the left slightly. Nope. Back to the right again. It was perfect. It was perfect from the start. There we go. So that will be our entrance and also exit. Or maybe just entrance. We'll figure that out. We will figure that out all in due time. So now, we can select the whole coaster. I think I want to leave it like turned the way it is already. And we'll see if we can find a good enough spot for it. I do think I kind of want to keep these coaster supports a little ways away from the lazy river. In this green zone right here with all this grass, I do eventually want to do some plants in there. I think that that'd be a really good spot for it. And then over on the opposite side, which we'll hopefully get into later on today, I'd like to do sort of the same thing. But this seems like a good starter location. I like how there's the coaster support sort of in the middle of this spot here. That'd be another spot that we'll just sort of fill with plants later. Yeah, this looks nice. This looks very, very nice. So we'll commit to that. We will have to test the coaster, but I'm going to hold off on that for right now so we can sort of get the paths figured out first. I gotta be honest, this isn't really what I was hoping for. I don't love how there's a random staircase bit here. I don't love how it isn't very, it's got some curvature to it, right? But it's not very smooth. So I think we're actually just gonna back that whole sucker up, and I'm gonna edit the terrain around here just a little bit more to hopefully give us some additional path room. Right? I'm feeling a little bit better about the way that it's looking now. It kind of seems a bit more organic than it did before. And originally I had thought like I was gonna sort of leave some path supports underneath this in some places, but I decided to sort of just bring the terrain up underneath the path. I think it looks nice. Now, I don't want the exit to go all the way over here too. That's just it's gonna be too much, plain and simple. So what I'm thinking about doing instead, if we change, actually, you know what? We're doing stairs, so we'll keep that path. But if we just bring this down, oh, now why is it doing that again? Hang on just a second. If we work on the path facing this way, rather than this way, the stair thing just works better. Maybe not, I don't know. That probably has nothing to do with it whatsoever, but we're just gonna drop down the staircase real quick like this direction. And now at this level, good, the curve is back. That's what we want. We're just gonna curve it around this way. It's probably gonna get rid of that pole, but that's okay. And we're gonna bring it pretty much straight on through. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong path texture. We gotta fix that real quick. There we go. Gotta be that same asphalt that we're using everywhere else, but we're basically gonna bring it straight out this way. We'll leave it overhanging just a tad. And then we can go back to our stamp builder, grab our grid from the corner there, or the side. And then we're just gonna fill all that in. This path will probably lead to another zone, another future zone. We'll sort of have it curve, maybe come around this way or something like that. But I definitely don't want it to go straight out to another zone. That's why I'm kind of glad that the coaster gets in the way there. That'll hopefully prevent me from doing more just straight paths everywhere. It's time to break the mold, like I said. It really do be about time. We're just gonna fill that in with some brick real quick like. This already looks great, but you know what it's missing? A priority queue, which is right yonder. So we're just gonna turn that on and put it maybe over there? Wherever it wants to lock in, right here. We'll put that there, and then we're gonna need another queue. So let's do this. Let's drop this down. We'll see how that would look. And then we might, oh, we're still using the curve thing. Hang on. We might be able to do this. If it'll let me go down. Yeah, there we go. And then round here one more time. Paths cannot cross. Okay. Scratch that idea then. Let's try this. We'll just go sort of like under the station. And again, we can't do that. Okay. How about here? Surely this would work, right? But I don't want it to connect right away. There we go. And we can just have that connect up to right there. That should be plenty long, I would think, for a priority queue. I don't know, I kind of don't like it, tell you the truth. We made $84,000 in just one day. That's nuts. That really is nuts. I wish we had that much money chilling in the back pocket, of course, but we did just spend about 30 grand, I think, putting in this here coaster. So back to queues. I think what we need to do is add some supports. So let's go ahead and... What do you mean too steep? Why does this always happen to me? Okay. Let's look at it. Let's look at it from here again. And now it's gonna work. Why? I have no idea. I don't know why the angle at which your camera sits would change the steepness of the path, but that does appear to be a thing. So That's cool, I guess. And now we probably don't need supports here since we're basically at terrain height, grass height. And we're just gonna bring that out to here and try to get it to connect straight. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, dude, you know what? Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Except we lost our path supports. Why did we lose our path supports? What's happening? The paths are just being super weird today. I mean, and the game has been crashing, so maybe it's just having a time. All right, there we go. The path supports are back. It's looking good. It is looking real good. So, this doesn't appear to have any power. Why? I feel like we should have power. Oh. We just missed it, dude. If this were just a little bit further to the right, we would have been okay. So let's go ahead and just bring out maybe another distributor. We should have enough power. We just need to get that power out here, right? So let's get another distributor. I'm gonna edit this building though so we can utilize its grid. Head back into facilities. We're just gonna drop in a distributor right in here somewhere. I love how the grid height isn't actually snapping to the height that it's supposed to. Have I ever complained about that before? Surely I haven't. That's gotta be the first time. Let's try this again. There it is. All right, and do we have the right thing? We don't. I got a generator by accident. Since it doesn't ever need to be accessed by our mechanics, I'm just gonna put it smack dab in the center there, and then we're gonna run a cable from that guy all the way out to this guy, and bada bing, bada boom, ladies and gents. We've got power. We are looking great over here. So, let's go ahead and start testing this coaster, and we might as well do a little ride along while it's testing. We all know if I were to have built this coaster, that chain lift speed would be maxed out. It would be so much faster than that, but here we go. Okay, I'm into it. You know what? Seems like we got some good views of the central area of the park while we were riding that. I'm into it. Oh, and I was gonna say there should be 2 cars going, so I don't know if we have to wait until the second car comes back into the station to be able to open it up. I think that's how it works. And there we go. Okay. So it's going to send out some more test dummies. Let's go ahead and open her on up. We'll change our pricing to bargain. That's only $5.18. But we also don't have any scenery around the queue just yet. When we do, that will definitely change things. Another thing that we should probably do is change the minimum load to full load, 60 seconds, and then this should be 120. Why? Because it's double 60. I don't know why that matters to me. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter, but you know how it is. Okay, I think we're good then. We should be good to just sort of let her eat. You know, we can come through later and change up the color scheme of it and make it look a little bit different if we want. But what we need now is for a bunch of guests to start making their way over here and start riding that thing. That way we can make a little bit more money. We do already have 33 grand, which is kind of wild. I wasn't expecting to be up that good just yet. So here under coasters, now that we have a little bit more research points as well, I'm going to go ahead and just unlock wooden coasters. We aren't going to use them in this area whatsoever. Oh, we have to actually unlock both of them, don't we? Nice. And then we're going to have to wait a little while, and we can unlock Chain Lift Coasters 2 for 8,300 research points. We've got 5,700 right meow. Really shouldn't be waiting around that long. This one looks kind of cool, though. So we need another coaster that's going to fit well on this side of the park. That's kind of the idea, or my idea anyways, is we'll have a coaster on the right and maybe 2 smaller coasters on the left. We'll just see. This one takes up a pretty big blueprint, I would say. Oh, check this out. We've got some guests making their way down the very long main entrance. And then again, this over here is just reserved for priority pass members. Like this girl. First in line. First at the front of the coaster. She's got to be stoked. Oh, and they're letting it run with just her on it? That's a dream right there. That girl is living everybody's dream. I guess if it were me and I was alone on a coaster, I'd probably go to the way back. Let me know what you would do in this scenario. I'm curious. I'm not like a crazy coaster head or anything. You guys know that, but maybe the back seat would be kind of fun. You get to go up over a hill and see just empty seats in front of you. Anyways, that's a bit of a ramble. Let's go ahead and change this path over here next. That way we can sort of start to get it set up like the opposite side, and we'll just be ready for that coaster when the time comes. All right, the game has crashed on me a total of 5 times today, and I've only been recording for an hour. It is really starting to throw a wrench into my plans, but we're gonna keep trucking on as we do. Now, I did manage to complete, I actually had to do this twice, but I did manage to complete this other sort of path extension on this side, and then I went through back over here, as you guys probably would have seen if I kept the clip in, just basically filled in all the missing brick. While I was working on that, I couldn't help but notice how many guests seem to be enjoying themselves on our new coaster over here. It's going really, really dang well. And with almost $45,000 in the back pockets, I think if we pause things, we should be able to add another coaster out here. We do still have to do a little bit more research as well. I suppose we probably just knock that out right here, right meow. Get that out the way. See what we've got. So, we have the Minder. It's a pretty small footprint. I'm into it. It's also not that expensive at just $16,000 compared to the Gulpy Giant one that we put in was $30,000, I believe. Yeah, $30,400. It's insane. Title roll. This is the other one I saw in the catalog. I thought looked cool. This could work. You know what? Because, like, down here, especially... Oh, I didn't really think about where guests would actually get on. That is a slight problem. I mean, we could leave it like this and just do sort of what we did for the Gulpy, for the giant one, and just delete the path and move the entrance archway. You know, we could kind of just put that elsewhere. Let's try that. I do like this one in this area. I think that's going to fit. And actually, the Minder, the first one that we looked at, that could go pretty well over here too. As long as the two can be placed over here and won't like interfere with one another, I'm fine with this. I think it'll be okay. Now I've just got to find that same one again. Oh, it's right here. They're right next to each other, funny enough. So we'll just get that rotated around like so. And then if we grab our path tool, like I said, we're going to delete these paths and then move some stuff around, and we can come up with a new path that's hopefully better. Okay, so apart from the crashes, which there's only been one additional one since the last time I mentioned it, which is pretty good. This is also making things take way, way longer than they really need to. I don't know why this happens. I'm just trying to bring a path straight out from this platform, and you can see here, it just wants to angle down ever so slightly, and I don't really know why. I thought earlier that if we just start the path facing this direction, it would bring it out straight. And see, now it's done it fine. But what I want to do real quick is just see 2, 3, and then 4. We got to go down 1. I just want to see if I can get this to connect, and then also it's supposed to be using path supports, but it's not placing them down still. There we go. Finally. That's all I wanted. That is all I wanted. I wanted this base portion of the path to be, you know, connected to the ground. I wanted this portion to be elevated with path supports. I'm not kidding. It could take you an hour just to get a particular portion of path looking the way that you like it to. And now that we have that done, we have to go back to paths again so that we can create the queue here for the minder. You guys probably saw this again if I decided to leave that that raw clip in. The path over here is fine. Also, it's not exactly what I had in mind, but I think it's gonna work out just fine for us. So I'm gonna finish up this last queue, and then we can start testing these and riding them, of course. I was hoping to have a little bit more time to work on this all today, but I only have about 15 more minutes. We've got another AC. Why are you not changing? I just want to change you to asphalt. Can you please just work? Dude, nothing's working today. Nothing is working today, but we've got another AC repair technician dude, brah, swinging by the house in about 15 minutes, so I really do need to start sort of wrapping things up. But there we go. The deed is done, and we don't have enough power for this one. Why? Check our heat map. We are just out of the zone again. And we don't really have a good spot for another distributor. Oh. It's gonna be too tall for that area, so we might actually have to like put it under the terrain out here somewhere. I'm not totally against that idea, but I would rather not, you know? It's not super realistic just burying stuff under the terrain, but let's try this. We'll just put that sucker right down there. It's almost smack dab in the center underneath this coaster, and then we can just get that tethered to right there. That'll work, right? That will definitely work. Okay. Now that we've got that done, let's start a test on this sucker. And of course, we've got to go for a little ride along. Wait, at the beginning of the coaster, there's something like this? Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool, really. Also, real quick, I don't think I've ever seen that netting like underneath the chain lift like that before. That's pretty neat as well. Here we go. Now that is smooth, ladies and gents. Short but sweet, but also very smooth. I'm into that. Kind of just want to watch this one go around a little bit. We saw it in first person. Now we can kind of see what it looks like from the outside. Oh, Minder has finished testing and is ready to open, you don't say. All right, priority pass. Something I didn't really think about until just now. We can't put it over here, can we? No. Entrances do have to be on this side. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this is I thought about connecting it maybe to the exit. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I just think that that's gonna be the easiest way to go about things. And then real quick, let's head on over here, start a test, and go for another ride. Guests, hang on. Guests can't reach the park entrance and they want to leave. And now it's gone. I really, really wish that notification would stop popping up all the time. I mean, it's not even a legit notification. As soon as you click on it, it goes away. It's like the guests for a split second can't figure out where the exit is, and then they find it, and they're good. It would just be nice to not be notified about it every single time that it happens, you know? It is pretty frequent. Here we go again. Oh my god. This is giving Scoopty, Loopty, Hoopty vibes. If you know, you know. That's a different one. That is a different one for sure. Kind of weird. Both of these are kind of weird. They're like short but sweet. Actually, I don't even know that we could say that they're sweet. They're just short. But testing is complete. So let's open that up with the bargain pricing. And again, try to find a spot for Prio. Actually, I think the station here is too small. So for this one, I don't think we're going to be able to have a priority pass. That's okay. I mean, we don't have to put them on every single coaster. Odds are maybe, you know, this coaster might not be as popular as popular as some of the other ones, you know. So, back over here, we just got to try to find some way somehow to connect this up to the exit path, and we'll be golden. All right. 8 crashes. 8 crashes in one day. Kind of seems like a lot. I can't say that this game has really ever crashed on me before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But we'll see where we left off here. Did we get... It didn't even save the priority queue. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Oh, or... Dang, this took us way back. What the heck? Yeah, we don't even have the distributor. Okay, so I'm just gonna real quick try to add a distributor, fix the priority queue entrance thing, and hopefully we'll be caught back up again after that.
A few moments later.
We've just got to let the 2 of these finish testing so we can get them opened on back up. And then I think I forgot to like change some of the settings on them as well. So we'll make sure that we do that this time around too. I cannot wait for some of these future Planet Coaster 2 updates to hit, dude, because I mean, there's some glaring issues, as you guys have seen in this episode and in previous episode. The crashing issue is a new thing. Again, like I said, I don't think I've ever had that many crashes in one day's time, but hopefully they'll get it all ironed out. And the whole grid height thing, and there's some pathing issues, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Anywho, let's go ahead and open up the Minder. We should be able to open up Title Roll now as well. Bargain pricing for both. That looks good over here. Oh, high priority. Again, for this one, we can't do prio. I mean, we could, but we'd have to, you know, edit the station, and it would be a whole thing. Maybe we can make that change some other time when we actually have time. I did just get a text message from the technician, and he is on his way, so I do have to wrap this up, unfortunately. But that seems good over there. Let's just make sure we have the same settings. Whoops, full load, and then 120. There we go. All right, we are looking good, ladies and gents. With the addition of these 3 coasters, we've got a whopping 1,200 total guests in the park. And there's even more showing up as we speak. Bunch of people, you know, walking down the pedestrian side of the parking lot. Bunch of people popping out the buses. This is good. This is really good for Toogii World. We still need a sign too, don't we? I kind of keep forgetting about that. I haven't forgotten about the plants. Don't worry, we'll do that someday. We need a lot of plants everywhere. Anywhere that's green that you see in this. Another crash. All right. On that note, ladies and gents, I think that is unfortunately where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.